Hi guys, I hope you all are well. I have not given you a garden tour in a while, so I wanted to give you a quick update to show you how things are coming along for spring of 2022. And I want to start off in my front because there have been a few changes. So the hibiscus with the red big flowers are doing fantastic. The ones on the right, as you can see, are doing a lot better than the ones on the left. I fertilized a couple of months ago and I must have forgotten to add fertilizer to the left side, so I'm going to do that soon. I also added these trumpet vines to the left wall here, so I can't wait for this wall to be covered in that beautiful vine. One of the other things I also did is pulled out the vincas that I had planted here originally and put lantanas in. Now these are going to look like a hedge once they mature. I planted babies about 2 months ago. So once these come in, they will be a beautiful hedge of like yellow and red flowers. And this little garden fence on the left will also wrap completely around on the right side as well. I just haven't gotten around to that yet. But entering into the garden, everything is coming along beautifully. My mint here in the front is doing fantastic. I actually have to cut quite a bit off every single week and it still comes back like crazy. My carrots here are doing great. I was only able to plant a few because of space, but the ones that I was able to get in the ground are doing great. My basil here is coming up nicely. I planted that from seed about 2 months ago, so it's come up beautifully as well. And this little guy here offered itself up. It's a coyote squash plant, and I'm going to leave it and just see how it does there since it started growing there. And this is also coyote squash. This is some of my favorite squash in the whole world, and I am so excited to be growing it. I actually have some that I hand pollinated a couple of days ago that I will be able to harvest next week. So I'm super excited about that. And then moving back around to the front and or the other side of this particular garden bed, I do have my banana pepper plant here. Now, I did relocate this plant. This was actually originally in the bed in front over here on this side, but I relocated it here because this bed is actually a lot deeper in the back, and I wanted to give the root system a lot more room to grow because the banana pepper plant is huge and is growing out of control. So it did suffer through the winter, but it has made a beautiful comeback for the spring, and I've actually been harvesting off of this plant for about 2 weeks, and it's producing about 10 peppers a week. And this little guy, I left on, and it actually turned red. And so moving over to my large bed, I planted things intentionally this season, but I also had a few things that offered themselves up that I decided to let stay since they came on their own. And this plant here is another coyote squash that was not supposed to be here. It did offer itself up, or I must have dropped a seed on accident. But it wasn't supposed to be here because I have this tomato plant that's growing here that it's kind of impeding on that space. So I might relocate this particular squash plant. And these little peas did offer themselves up as well. I am letting them grow and doing their thing. They can just vine right up the back of that cattle panel and hopefully they will do well. And I do have this tomato plant. Now this one has been here for a while. I cut it back to almost nothing because it did suffer through the freeze, but it has made a nice little comeback. So I am leaving that there to see how it goes. And I believe I might have some blooms already. Oh yeah, I do have a little tomato there on the front of this tomato plant. This one has been growing for about 2 months, so it's finally beginning to produce. And then this humongous plant is my zucchini. Now, I've actually been harvesting off of this for about 5 or 6 weeks now, and I have a lot of blooms that I actually just pollinated this morning, and it produces some large fruit, you guys. I'm going to split the screen and show you a picture of one that I just harvested yesterday. The fruit that this thing produces is massive. And I have some green onions growing in the front of this area right here, and they're coming in pretty good. But my cucumber plants are what I am most excited about. I do have some male flowers on them already, and I am waiting for my females to come in so I can finally start getting some fresh cucumber again. And then this big guy is my Sicilian cherry tomato. I planted this thing from seed last year, and it is just a monstrosity of a plant at this point. There is so much fruit on this plant. And you guys, I have actually pruned this back at least 4 times already just this season. And the more I prune it, the more it just keeps growing out of control. So I'm going to harvest all of this fruit, and then I'm going to give it a really good haircut again and get it back to a manageable size. And then right in the front here, I have my bell pepper plant. This plant also suffered a lot through the winter months with the freezes, but it again has made a nice comeback. There's tons of bell pepper growing on it already, and I'm really excited to be able to harvest some fresh bell pepper again. And that's really all I have that I'm growing inside of the beds right now. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today for my garden tour. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'd greatly appreciate it. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and may your life and your garden produce good fruit. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.